Okay, so you all asked for a Smurfs lore dump, and here we are. This may be minimally edited, if not at all. Credit up ahead goes to Soulferno and Puff Pastry 2001 for my Discord server. Ferno is also Duels of Inferno on Tumblr. I don't think Puff Pastry has a Tumblr. So initially, this actually started because I work in an adult toy store, and I asked one of my coworkers what color Smurfs would turn if they asphyxiated. It's gray. The answer is gray. Anything else is wrong. But then I started to wonder, all the Smurfs are male, right? Like, there's just Smurfette. So then are Smurfs like clownfish, where they have like a dominant female and then a bunch of males? They operate in pods of 6 to 8 usually. And if the dominant female dies, the next largest male transitions to female because they're all born with vestigial female reproductive organs. But then I found out that Smurfette's not the only female Smurf. There's Sassette. B, neither of them is actually natural born Smurfs. They're both homunculi made from clay. Smurfette is from season 1 episode, The Smurfette. She's created by evil human wizard Gargamel from clay and spite and some other shit. As an evil Smurf to infiltrate the village and break their hearts, I guess. Which that part's important. We'll come back to that later. But then she's later legitimized by Smurf magic and made into a real/good Smurf. So that's interesting. Sassette is made in season 5 by Smurf children. The Smurflings, season 5 episodes, the Smurflings and Sassette. Which heavily indicates that Smurfs are naturally very magical creatures and instinctively very talented with magic because they made fucking life. Again, though, Sassette had to be legitimized by Smurf magic via Papa Smurf. Again, the magical thing comes in important because Smurfs are apparently so magical that they can be used to make gold and be straight up eaten by human wizards as a magic boost, which is one of Gargamel's several goals. Gargamel, for the record, apparently flunked out of wizard school for failing to capture a Smurf to create gold with. So my source for that is Gargamel's Wikipedia page and apparently also his entire personality. However, if are Smurfs monogendered? Do they reproduce asexually? No. In Smurfs, the 2017 film Smurfs: The Lost Village, there's an entire village of female Smurfs in the same forest, but in a more hostile area. So this implies that the Smurfs have a much larger population, more than 100, and that somebody is segregating the Smurfs by gender. And it is clear that I did try to argue for gender as an aesthetic, but the Smurfs exhibit clear distinguishing markers of sexual dimorphism and instinctive behaviors natural to species that engage in sexual reproduction. Specifically, there's the picnic date in the Smurfette episode, and apparently a ball, but I asked that Sulfarno cited, but I couldn't find that. So there's that. So who's doing that? Also important is that Smurf children, Smurf babies, new Smurfs, are delivered by stork from somewhere else. Who's delivering these Smurfs? Where are they being delivered from? Obviously, there's got to be some kind of central location. So there's a main colony of Smurfs that is creating babies and delivering them to these segregated villages. Why? Well, that's because Smurfs is a fucking dystopia. Because Grandpa and Nanny Smurf are canonically over 500 years old. Papa Smurf is the next oldest, but the rest of the Smurfs are all like the same age. They're all like 100 years old, according to the Smurfs Wikipedia page. Smurfs also, very importantly, seem to get most of their nutrition from the Smurf berry. So we think Smurfs, over 500 years ago, were originally their own powerful nation of their own, probably primarily in magic. And then humans presumably figured out that they make great ingredients for magic, and as straight up power boost, you just fucking eat a Smurf raw like a fucking monster, I guess. Waged war on the Smurfs and won control, presumably through basically isolating and controlling their food supply of Smurf berries, because honestly, there's no other way, because Smurfs don't reproduce slowly the way you would otherwise nerf a magical population like elves or dwarves or whatever. So Smurfs were then nearly hunted nearly to extinction, and we believe were wound up being sheltered by one city-state in exchange for the sacrifice of a controlled percentage of their population for the humans to use in the creation of gold and magical power boosts. We believe that main colony is working around the tax by secretly sending Smurf babies out to villages hidden in a forest via stork, and keeping those villages segregated by gender to keep the population from exploding out of control and being discovered. We believe these villages are watched over by Grandpa and Nanny Smurf not very well, as the Smurfs get up to endless amounts of shenanigans. We also believe that the forest in which these villages are being hidden are being protected via Grandpa Smurf's suspiciously close relationship with Father Time. I'm also convinced they're fuck buddies because of how comfortable Grandpa Smurf is in Father Time's house and using his things even when Father Time isn't there. But that's not necessarily related. For extra angst, you can also imagine that the first ruler to create this agreement, this pact of protection, was based on genuine friendship and trust, and there wasn't a tax. But succeeding rulers were greedy and slowly introduced the taxes, covering costs or being owed. So yeah, I think that covered everything. Credit again to Solferno and Puff Pastry 2001 for for coming up with these ideas and doing research for me. And so yeah, Smurfs lore dump. You're welcome. World 20s, y'all.